You came up and asked me about 6BG. She noticed one tube in the pamphlet that we had. We didn't have enough for everybody, but there's a few of them. But there was a tube called 6BG. It's actually a blue-green, and I only made it in one level, 6. Because at level 6, where I already erased it, where you're fighting red-orange, you need blue-green. I don't need blue-green at level 7. I need just blue. I don't need blue-green at level 5. I need just green. But at level 6, I need blue and green, so I made you one tube of a blue-green. And everything that you need, I promise you, when you reach for it, is going to be in this when you're visualizing. Everything you need. Doubles and triples. Now, one really good rule of thumb, when I'm lightening someone's hair, if I'm lifting them 1 or 2 levels, I'll use a single dye load. Like if I'm going from a level 4 to a level 5, 1 level lighter, I know level 5 is going to turn red. I can use 1 dye load of green. I can use 5A, 1 level lighter. If I'm lifting 2 levels, I can use a single dye load. You start lifting more than 2 levels, like 3 levels or 4 levels from the natural, it's going to pull out so much of that warmth underneath that I always use a double dye load. So for example, if I'm lifting someone from a 4 to a 7, that's 3 levels lighter. I'm going to need my 9% or 30 volume to get me up 3 levels. Then I know also at level 7 the hair is going to turn bright orange. I can't use just 7 blue. I'm lifting 3 levels, so I would use 7 double blue, 7 BB. So if it was from a 5 to a 7, I could use 20 volume and 7B. But if it's from a 4 to a 7, I'm going to use 30 volume and 7 BB. Does that make sense? So when you lift 1 to 2 levels, I don't care what brand you're using, if they make a double dye load in blue, you're in good shape. If they don't make a double dye load in blue, then you should look for another color line. Okay? One that has everything you need. So when you're lifting 1 to 2 levels single dye load, above 2 levels a double dye load. Does that help you? I want to talk about these funky fun colors right here called fashion tones. They're direct dyes. Okay, I love them. I love your hair. I love fashion tones. I think they're awesome. Like I said, most people that come into the salon that want these don't have money. That's the problem. But, and you do actually a lot more work. Because you have to pre-lighten the hair, you have to do all this. It's more work than doing regular color, and they have no money. It's like, so I do it for fun. Like whenever I want to do some really creative, and you'll see like the color work that I did in that brochure if you want to hold it up. But how many people come in and ask for that? Right? But I love doing those kinds of things, but I want to talk about direct dyes. Because one of the things that really, who can tell me the difference between a direct dye and oxidative tint? What's the difference between this and those other shades in my book?
They are vegetable colors. They are made up from vegetable types. That's what I heard.
Okay. They are. They are.
Those only deposit.
Very good. Both of you are correct. I heard they deposit only. They can't lift. I heard they're made from a vegetable base or a vegetable dye. They're proteins. They are. They're already pre-blended. A direct dye is a pre-oxidized color molecule, okay? Now, a direct dye can come in many forms. It could come out of a tube, it could come out of a bottle, it could come out of a jar. They're stains. They're pre-oxidized. That's why they look the color they're going to be, right? And if you get them on your fingers, they're going to be that color too. They're stains. If you get them on a white shirt, you're not getting it out. They're stains, right? They're a direct dye. So they're also a larger color molecule. So when we start talking about the hair strand here, the green one works. When we start talking about a hair strand here, right? Oxidative tint is very small, and it's activated with something alkaline, remember? Which is our ammonia, which lifts the door up and we can go inside of here and deposit. Now, a direct dye is a pre-oxidized color molecule that's much larger, right? And it's actually the color it's going to be, green, if it's that one. Now, probably the most frustrating thing for me as a color developer is when someone comes up to me at a booth at the hair show or whatever and goes, "Oh my God, I love your color. Are they going to fade like the other ones?" I want to punch them in the face. To even ask me if they're going to fade. okay? Because they're impossible to get in the cortex. You can't put a direct dye in the cortex. It's too big of a color molecule. Even if you use bleach and blow that cuticle open to 35, 40 degrees where it's wide open, it still can't get in the cortex. And the best way I can explain it, imagine if there was a door right here, right? And the door can only open 30 degrees, that far. But the direct dye is the 400-pound dude. And you're like, come on in and have a seat. Right in here, come on in. He can't get through the door. Even if I come behind him and I decide I'm going to help him and try to shove him through the door, right, and push his fat, his fat will wrap around the door and it will hug onto the door and you're trying to shove him through, but it won't go through. So now he's stuck on the cuticle, right? That's what happens to a direct dye. It sticks to the cuticle. And when it falls off the cuticle, it's gone, and the cuticle has a residue, a stain, and it turns those cotton candy looking colors because it's stained the cuticle, this little part right here. So it fades to the soft lilacs or purples or pinks, and then it eventually comes off. But it doesn't go in there. Do you get it? Yeah. So when someone asks me, "Are yours going to fade?" I want to punch them. They're all going to fade. It's inevitable. And then I have people who use J. Beverly Hills Color and call me and say, "Oh my God, I love your fashion shows. They hold better than everybody else's." They just love J. Beverly Hills. They're not. I really don't think they can hold better than anybody else's. We did put some different botanicals in to make them shiny, but they're going to fade. Does that make sense? They're a direct dye. And then I've had people with our color lines who's actually turned someone one of these colors. They pre-lightened them and put this on. And they said, "Oh, I'm going to lock it in. I'm going to cover it with clear, a glaze." Well, what happens if you mix clear with our 2T? The 2Ts, which is the glaze, right, that turns it into acidic hair color. Remember when I told you it's all about pH. When you mix that developer with any shade in our book, it turns it to acidic hair color. And once it's acidic, it closes cuticle because it's deposit only. So if I throw this direct dye on here that's green, and it's right here underneath, wrapped around the cuticle like a fat man, right? And then I go and put clear on it to lock it in, all clear's going to do is close the cuticle. And when it closes the cuticle, it's going to shove the fat man out the door. And there goes your direct, it's gone. Because all it knows is to close and shut and make shiny with clear. And when it closes and shuts it, it pushes it up. Does that make sense? Yes. So if you can't cover them with clear to lock them in, you're going to push them out. So understanding a direct dye, they're stains. And they're the hardest to get totally in the hair. Now you know why. And they're the hardest to get out because even though that cuticle layer up here gets stained, that residue, it's a stain. It doesn't come completely off either. It stains that cuticle, though, so those soft pastel colors, to try and even bleach them out, sometimes you can't get them out. Because they stain the cuticle. Not inside the hair, but they stain the cuticle very, very bad. Just like if I get them on a white t-shirt, can I really bleach it out? You can bleach a white shirt 4 times, it's not going to come out of it. The shirt will fall apart. Does that make sense? And that's the thing with dark hair color, too. I don't get it. Once you go black, you ain't going back, baby. Especially with hair color. Let me tell you about it. Look at this girl right here, okay? She comes in. There she is. Her. Okay? And, a year ago, she decided to go black. And she put 2 in on her hair, right? And then her hair grew. So when she had the roots, she needed to go black again, so she put it on. Again. Now, this was colored black once. You tell me at home when she put it on the roots, she didn't get it on her ends. That was colored twice. Okay? Then it grew and she did it again, so that's colored once, twice, 3 times black now. Then it grew and she did it again. Okay? You starting to follow me now? That one, look how much black's been put on there. And now she's got 4 inches of natural, which is a natural level 4. And she's sitting in my chair and she said, "My hair's been growing for like 4 months. I've got it down to my ears. I want to be blonde." Well, you know what? I want to be a waist 29 too, girl. And I don't think it's going to happen, but, you know, I want to be blonde. Then you have hairdressers who say, "So I can do it, I'll just bleach it." They don't ask her, "How many times did you color the dark hair on your hair?" And they're going to lie, "I never colored my hair before in my life." Well, I can see it. "Oh, well, I did it once, you know, with the rinse thing." So you foil her with bleach, right? So you have a bleach panel that goes from here to here. And from the roots to the line of demarcation, it lifts beautiful. You get out to yellow. Then where it's been colored once, right here there's a band that we'll get to yellow-orange. Then right here where it's been colored twice, if you're lucky, you'll see a little bit of red, and from here down it's black! Ever seen it inside a foil? Now you've got a nice shade of calico cat. And you can't tone it, because if you tone the red, you're going to turn the yellow green. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. If you turn the yellow, the right color, that's still going to be red. And you have a mess on your hands that you can't fix. And she's a client that came in and all she wanted to do was be light brown. Or she wanted to be a level 9. Her desired level was a 9. Okay? The only thing I can make 9 is down to her ears. Then this I can make a level 8 because it's yellow-orange. This I can make a level 5. And then from here down she stays black. So she has a reverse ombre. And she goes out and she says, "Look what he did to my hair. He ruined my hair. It's not even what I wanted." I ain't even going to do her hair when she sits in my chair because I'm going to say, "Look at this. How many times have you done your hair? How many times did you do black?" There's not enough money on this planet for me to even attempt doing her hair in the salon in a professional atmosphere. I'll do a test strand if she says I only did it one time. And if I do a test strand, the history is going to show right there in front of me. And I'm going to say, "Well, honey, you didn't do it just once. You did it like 7 times, girl. And I'm not touching your hair today. I'll darken it back to black, that little strand, and I send her on her merry way and let her go to the salon next door to let them try it." So when she comes to me with the calico cat, I'll say, "I see, I told you so." And now you want me to fix it? We're going to fix it really easy. Today we're going to give you a wedge right here. We're going to cut this off. And now give you, a cut that comes right in there. And you can have your level 9, baby. You get it? Mm-hmm. Once you go black, you ain't going back. You can't get it out. And I don't know why hairdressers keep thinking you can bleach it right out of the hair. If I had a white t-shirt on and I got black shoe polish on, can I bleach it out of my white t-shirt? No. Why do you think you can get it out of the hair? It's a porous fiber. It's the same thing. You can't get it out. Does it make sense? It will fall off your head before it comes out of your hair. Does that make sense? So once you go black, make sure you want it. Okay? And then use a demi-permanent that lands on the cuticle out here, not in the cortex. Stay away from the cortex with black hair. And they do it all the time at home out of the box, and they come to us, "I just want to be blonde again." Like this color right here. Do you have this? And I want to stab them. Right? It's not even a color. "That's the blonde I've always been looking for. Oh my God, it looks so good on me." It's called a wig. Okay? They don't get it. And just showing the different blondes on her skin right here. Come up here for a minute. She was asking if she's warm or cool, and I think it was a great example. And I said, "You're warm." Even if I put natural on her skin, look at this. In the lightest tones, look on her skin. They look green. She'll look like she has jaundice. A nice, beautiful case of hepatitis. And I used to watch stylists in my salon. They would come, the people would come with a picture from a magazine. "Yeah, you can make that color," but they didn't pay attention. Will it look good on that client? The client doesn't know what's going to look good on them. That's your job. You can't just look at it and say, "Oh, I can make that color," and just paint it on her hair. If she came to me and said, "I want that color," I could make her this color of blonde. Right. And then she walk out and someone's going to go, "Oh my, are you feeling okay? What happened to you? You look sick, you look pale." Right? And I messed up as a hairdresser by not telling her, "I know you want to go light, you can go light. But let's get the right tone that's going to complement you." Does that make sense? So as hairdressers, we have a huge job. to educate your client because they don't know what looks good. And so getting the right tones that are going to complement are so important. Use your arms. That's the first place because then they don't see it on their face and you'll be able to see what looks good. I'm warm too. Don't put those on me.
Oh, wow.
They're not pretty. Okay? And I used to be the guy that hated copper and orange. And I would always use ash on my hair. When I lighten my hair and I'd make it as cool and as natural as possible. And then when I started putting the warms on and I understood it, it looked so much better. And I'll even have clients who really don't know. They'll sit in my chair and they're like, I don't want any type of... And I'll maybe color my hair with like 5N and 5GC. It looks good on me, especially in the fall. And all the clients sit in my chair and just say, I don't want any red in my hair, I don't want any orange, but your color looks perfect, I want that color. Girl, it's copper! But on my skin it looks so good that they don't see the copper. You know what I'm saying? So really understanding tones and tonal value is so important. It'll really, really help you to take them out. Don't show them the whole book. It's overwhelming. They don't know that the green, we have these in here to remove red. This isn't a tone. No one wants that shade on their hair. I mean, really? Like with a moss on a rock? It's not pretty. It's not complimenting. It's a tool for us behind the chair because we know this is going to get us to natural and kill the red. They shouldn't see this book. And if they see the book, that's when they're going to choose the clear. Oh my God, it's a perfect blonde. That's not a color. Right? It's not a color. There's no such thing as clear. Shave your head. So it's educating your clients as well. We have a huge job.